So this is a little tutorial about how to create an airport in Flight Simulator 2020. It's not just going to be any old airport, it's going to be London Heathrow. So the first thing I need to do is go to I've installed the SDK. I need to go and copy some files from the samples. So go into samples folder. You can use a simple airport, but I just use a simple scenery, and then I just create an airport within the simple scenery. So these files here, I've created a folder in my projects called Heathrow. So that's in another drive. So just copy this sample simple scenery into the Heathrow project. So now with all this, you have to start renaming things and deleting things. So I'm gonna rename the XML. Going to go into this. First of all, I'm going to copy the name, it'll be easier. Then I need to edit this with Notepad++. So any my company simple scenery name, I just need to rename it. Save it. Package sources, model lib. Delete all the samples. Delete these. So there's just a texture folder, empty texture folder in the model lib. Package definitions, need to rename this folder. My company scenery, rename it. Edit this one and start renaming my company simple scenery. I think there's 3 in this one. That should be enough. I go into this folder. I think that should be it. And delete this one in the scene folder. So that's all done. So in theory, As long as I've got everything correct, I should be able to open this package. It should load in the SDK. That's all done. So I'm in the flight simulator now. I'm just going to go down to Heathrow. As you can see, I've got the premium, or I have got the premium deluxe version, so mine is a custom version of Heathrow. So I'm gonna spawn at Heathrow. So what I'm going to do now, I forgot that I really need to put this in its own folder. And I'm going to name the folder this. This is before I build the project. So the project's in its own correctly named folder, the same as the package name. I've just copied that, so I'll delete that. So it's in its own folder called Heathrow, and the package folder is the same name as the package. So now what I can do, if I've made a mistake and I build it and there's a failure, if I copy it as a copy, then I can, if I've made a mistake in this, it may cause lots of problems, so it's easier just to go to another copy and check through it, so I haven't got to do all the renaming again. So I've got a copy and I've got the package that I'm going to load. So I've spawned at customised Heathrow, handcrafted premium deluxe Heathrow, make it a bit lighter, developer camera, project editor, London Heathrow EGLL, inspector, build package. Seem to have built it correctly. So I've actually done the renaming and the deleting. It looks like it's worked. So that's a good start. Now I need to load my scene. Loading editor. I've got nothing set up yet. Everything's loaded. So the first thing I need to do is zoom out a bit. So I'm not sure if I can actually edit a premium deluxe handcrafted airport. I'm not sure what's going to happen. So the best thing to do is to add an airport right in the centre, and display name. London, Heathrow, EGLL. See, it's drawn a radius. Test radius, maybe 3,000 meters, 3.5 maybe. Call it a star airport. So now I'm going to start deleting stuff. You don't want to tick approaches because that's the navigation, I do believe. Delete apron lights, delete all aprons, delete all frequencies. No, not unless you want a absolute nightmare. Delete all helipads, yeah. Delete all runways, yeah. Delete all starts, yeah. Starts I think are the start points of the runways. Delete all taxiways, yeah. Boundary fences, all jetways. Don't delete all control towers, otherwise you won't get any ATC. Don't delete all departures, don't delete all arrivals because that's the ILS system. Delete all painted elements, yep. Delete all light supports, yep. Delete all taxiway signs, 100%. The departures and arrivals, I think they're like the SIDS and the stars, so you don't want to delete them. Delete all ILS, no, we want to keep that. We don't want to delete that. Waypoints, we don't want to delete that either. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 things that I've deleted. Now I want a polygon. I want to draw a polygon. I'll just do a rough one. I want a polygon to flatten the ground. I don't want to flatten the whole radius. I just want to flatten what's necessary. So I have to hold down Control and click the left mouse. I can come back to it later. Keep this bit flat. Something like that. I can go back to it and adjust it later. So I want to exclude all. Terraforming. Leave it as that. So it looks like all the taxiways are deleted, all the runways are deleted. But it looks like all the handcrafted models are still there. So that must mean I would have to uninstall Heathrow from my scenery. I can see everything's been deleted, all the aprons. All that's remaining are the handcrafted premium deluxe buildings, and these light masts that they've placed there. So that's not so good. So I'm gonna save the I need to create a shape. So I'll go to scene, and the scenery file. Just name it anything. So I've saved it. Now I'm gonna build it. I'll leave that at the moment. So I've just built the package. So what I need to do now is close it down. I may have deleted the handcrafted, I'm not sure. So what I need to do is maybe restart the sim or try and open it up again. Yeah, that's building okay. I don't think it's removed any of this. So I need to go back into the menu and see if I can delete Heathrow from the Premium Deluxe scenery. So it looks like I can actually delete. It's only 52 megs. It's not much has gone into it really. So let's delete this. That's all deleted. So I'm going to restart Flight Simulator and see if I can load the scene with none of the Premium Deluxe Heathrow buildings. So I've gone back with the Premium Deluxe version of Heathrow removed, and this is the default version, which is interesting. I noticed the same parking positions are there, but it's pretty bare. I can understand why people want Heathrow done, because it's just like a desert. So I'm going to go pause it, develop a camera, open the project. This is my built package. See, if I had made a mistake before, it was always a good idea to keep a backup, because it would save me having to rewrite and edit everything. But open the package, build, it's all good. Now loading editor. Load this asset group. So that should be a completely clean sheet. All the AI buildings are removed. All there is the Bing map. This is the polygon, so anything outside this polygon is going to be removed. And outside of the polygon, all the AI buildings are still being populated. I thought that there was 3 runways at Heathrow. I really genuinely did believe. I'm wondering if they had one here years and years ago. I can't believe I didn't realise that there's only 2 runways now. I think about 20-30 years ago there was a runway here, but it looks like they've built over that. I'm not familiar. I do believe that this is the new terminal, British Airways, and these are the old terminal. This is one of the old terminals. So I'm gonna close it down. close it down and restart the package just to double check. There's another few things you need to do when you're building an airport. That you need to rename the your model lib directory to a different name to avoid conflict with other packages. I've done it a couple of times, and the process is something I just can't remember to do straight off, so I'll probably make another video about that. So I can't remember how to do it. I think it's the art project, but I can't see anything coming up here. Oh yeah, it's here. So there has to be a bit of renaming. Also, I need to create a texture directory as well for custom textures. So that's two things that I need to do really before I even begin putting anything down. So the first thing I would do after those two steps is to add some runways, and then you can start adding taxiways. But I'm not going to use default taxiway textures because they never line up perfectly with the edges of the grass, and it ends up really messy. I think default taxiway paths with the rendered taxiway are good for small airports, simple airports, but for complicated airports you just can't get the curvature correct, because the taxiways that are created are a standard thickness that you can designate. So as you can see, the thickness changes around this bend, so I would have to put my own apron textures down for the taxiways. That's why it takes so long. Then it looks like there's quite a few taxiways, so I'm going to restart and double check now. So I've got the Heathrow package in my community directory. I'm just going to zoom down. I've not got anything there, which is probably because I've got no runways set up yet. So I didn't realise that. When I get some runways on, it should show up. So I'm back in the SDK, and I'm just gonna add the runways. So scenery editor is there, scenery is here, just scroll down to runway. So there's two runways, 27 right and 27 left, I do believe. So on the runway selector we just do 27. So it's completely not orientated the correct way. But in the properties, in the configuration, You just want to change that to 270 degrees. And the designation is runway 27, and the primary, the main direction, is left, 27 left, and the secondary, the other side, is obviously going to be right. The markings, just going to make sure that I've got the correct direction. So 27 left, 09 right. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use the default runway markings or textures because they're never correct. I'm going to make my own exact customized markings. So in that case, I'm just going to make the materials transparent. So I've got a transparent runway. I'm going to arrange it roughly and extend it all the way. All the way to the end. So the end of the runway looks like it is this position, but if I leave it there, the runway lighting will be beginning here in the taxiway. So the runway lighting don't want in that area. I'm just going to extend the runway to the edge. So as you can see, 270 degrees is not exactly 270 degrees. This is where you have to fiddle around to get the exact angle. So head in, I tried 269. So it's in somewhere in between there. That's roughly about right. So the width looks roughly correct. So the only thing I'm going to use in the custom materials is possibly, no, I can't even use the center lines. All I'm going to use is the lighting system, because that's the only thing that really is impossible to recreate. I've tried different blender models for taxiway lights and they just don't look correct. So these little green arrows are the start locations where you would spawn on the runway. So it's like the takeoff points. So you have to be really careful with this because it's called runway start. You have to be careful that you grab hold of the correct one. So the primary start is that end. So edit position. Not too easy to see, but I need to rotate it. See, I've lost it now. So I need to rotate that heading. So you might be able to see that the arrows approximately in the right direction. 268. Well, that's okay. So untick edit start position of the primary end, 27 left. Edit the position of the secondary end. I'm doing this one-handed, it's not that easy. But if you forget to untick the edit position, you go to build the project, or you try and move the runway or do anything, it won't do anything. It's really annoying. So you just have to be careful. Make sure you untick the edit position of the start positions. So this is for 09 right, the secondary end. Put it possibly here. Need to change the heading. 090 is about right. So I need to go back down down to that now and turn off the edit start position, otherwise I won't be able to do anything. So it's roughly in the right area. I'm just going to leave it like that at the moment. So if I check the scenery editor, we've now got runway 27 left, and I want to add another one, and I've got to do the same, exactly the same to 27 right. So I'll pause it for the moment and do that. So I just put the second runway on, and similar heading, and I need to, designation is 27 again, but the primary designator is 27 right, and the secondary designation is 09 left. Just double check. '09 left, 27 right. Okay. I'm going to make it transparent again. Let's start adjusting it.
Do you think that he took advantage of rules that many think were just too lax?
Well, I don't think he took advantage of any rules. No, he meticulously observed the rules there. The systems we have in place, with ministers declaring interest, with the ministerial code, and the focus on that and how ministers conduct themselves in office is actually a pretty good one. But that's not to say that you couldn't make tweaks or changes. Labour says that attitude indicates the government has no intention of properly investigating and reforming the system.
Let's see exactly what's going on. Let's pull in everybody to public hearings that the public can see as well as MPs. Let's find out what's going on, and then let's put in place the measures that prevent it from recurring.
The latest revelations around David Cameron's lobbying efforts relates to the advance payments have earned.
That company is Greensill and its founder, Lex Greensill, joins me now live.
In March last year, Lex Greensill told Sky News it was being made available to NHS staff completely free of charge as a token of support during the early phase of the pandemic.
They're able to get paid every day, completely for free, both free for employees and for the National Health Service. In a way, Ian, it's our free cup of tea.
But emails uncovered by the Sunday Times show David Cameron was continuing to lobby in relation to the app a month after that interview. And an email sent to the head of the digital division of the NHS on April the 23rd last year, David Cameron requested greater access for Greensill Capital to electronic staff records of NHS employees.
He said this would make the system much slicker and added that the Health Secretary was extremely positive about the app.
The NHS say this was one of many approaches from firms to discuss products that emphasised no partnership or project.
So both of the runways are in. So in theory, it should show up in the. It's a start airport. It's got runways now. It should show up on the map now as a star airport. So I'm going to try that now. Just save the scenery. Notice I've backed up an earlier version. I'll do this every time I make changes. Every time I build the SDK, I always back up the package just in case there's an error. Otherwise you'll lose all the work that you've done.
Several buildings on campus were set ablaze with more than 100 firefighters working to bring the fire under control. The fire has also destroyed some of the city's historic landmarks and 2 firefighters have been injured.
So I've just gone onto the map view with the package in the community folder. So now it is showing up as a star airport. You've got no jetways, obviously. I haven't put any jetways in. All it is the transparent runways. You've got the start points, 27 left, 27 right, 09 left, 09 right, and it'd be interesting to see if I do a departure from Gatwick to Heathrow. It'd be interesting to see if the navigation is there. So all the ILS, all the navigation is there. All the departures and the arrival, so all the SIDs, the Heathrow SIDs seem to be there. So it's looking like it's set up correctly at the moment. So I'm going to upload this now to flightsim.to, and I want, if anyone can do some tests, maybe a little test flight in the fly-by-wire, just to see if the ILS is working. I cannot fly the fly-by-wire, my system's not strong enough. I can do a TBM, but at the moment I just want to start off with the scenery and getting the runway textures on. If I start doing experiments, I haven't got time, so I'm going to need the help of the community to double check to see if the ILSs are working. If the ILS is not working, it means that I have to set them up, which is okay, but that would take time. But I'd be interested to know if the ILS works, because I did not delete the ILS. That's it for now.